Okay, welcome back to the Joe Dunnrite Show. In our last episode, we were working on converting a Stihl 038 AV from the old style um, spur sprocket that drives to the new rim style. So the issue is that these sprockets are really hard to come by. There is a guy on eBay who's selling them for like 45 bucks a piece, which is crazy, ridiculous expensive. I mean, these don't last forever. I get about 4 chains out of it, and then they get a little worn, and I get concerned that maybe I'm going to jump a chain, which will damage the chain. So what I did is I ordered on the website a new drum, clutch drum, and the drive gear, the oil pump drive gear, and the new rim style. And I ordered all Stihl. Ordered it from a company. I'm not going to tell you who it was. You can probably figure it out. But I ordered all Stihl, and I ordered this oil pump drive gear. But the issue was when I put it on in the last episode, the cover wouldn't fit. So had a couple options. One is I could turn down this diameter, which might compromise the drive, or I can open up this housing a little bit, and that's what I ended up doing. So now it fits nice, perfect. What I did is I just took a burr bit, put it in the drill press, and I just kind of went around in circles, and then I just cleaned it up with some 120 grit, and it's actually fits perfect. So now we've got a nice tight fit. We can put the spur, the rim sprocket on, and button that all up, and now we're all set. So we've taken about a 40-year-old chainsaw, 38-year-old chainsaw, brought it back into current standards with the rim sprocket, which is really, really nice. So these are like, these rim sprockets are $6-7 a piece if you want to buy the Stihl. You know, I got to tell you, I'm kind of old school, and I have bought some Japanese or some Chinese stuff. You know, we talk about Harbor Freight. Did an episode on the Maddox, compression tester. That stuff's good for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 uses, but for this chainsaw that's going to be put to use in this week, next couple weeks here, we're at the property in Illinois. I probably will run this chainsaw in the next few weeks, 40, 50 hours. I mean, and I got to make sure that it works. So I'm not going to order a cheap Chinese knockoff. The Stihl stuff is good quality, and this will last a while. So anyway, just thought I'd bring you up to speed that I got this working, got this fixed. This whole mod was probably less than 50 bucks. Now I will tell you, you can go online and you can find, and I'll post in the title. Excuse me, in the title, I'll post the part numbers, but my concern might be that the guy that sold me this might have sold me a Chinese manufactured gear. That's the reason why it's a little bit oversized compared to this gear. We're talking maybe 10 thousandths, but it was enough that it would not fit. And the idea here is you want this to be a nice tight fit. This keeps the debris that gets on the chain out of the inside of the clutch housing. So you don't want a gap here. You want this to be tight. And it's perfect now. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, the gap's maybe a couple thousandths. And again, we just kind of did it on a drill press with the burr, and it should be great. The thing will be ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to tell you that I did is I ordered, we talked about this, I ordered a new bar for the saw. This saw came with a 24-inch bar. And a 24-inch bar is a lot of bar for an older guy. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm old, but tomorrow we'll do an episode on what I've been working on over on the garage. But I bought the ES series, which is their top of the line. So what they do is the cheaper ones, and Stihl does it too, they take and make three pieces of metal and they bond them together to give the groove, and then that bonding is cheaper than taking a solid piece of steel and machining the groove, and that's what this is, the ES series. It's got a roller tip, 18-inch bar, their new style oil holes, and we'll put this together, and I'll show you a picture of it, but it's pretty basic putting it back together. But the 18-inch bar for a lot of what I do here is going to be a lot easier to handle. This saw will have no trouble running that bar. It runs a 24. I mean, it'll go through a 2-foot log like butter. It's over 4 horsepower. Amazing saw. And if I was going to buy a new saw today, I would go right back and buy another one. I know some of the guys like Husqvarna. Ex-brother-in-law had a Husqvarna. And we're going to talk about Husqvarna. I ended up buying some protective gear made by Husqvarna. In another episode, we'll talk about that. So I tend to buy, and for those of you who know me, know that I suffer from a little bit of an OCD issue. I tend to over-rationalize things, and I spend a lot of time making sure I get the right gear, right equipment. Had a buddy one time that his wife needed a car, and he saw a car that I bought for my wife at the time, and he just went out and bought one because he figured if I had spent that much, he knew me well enough to know that if I spent that much time, it was probably a good car. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to let you go. Back in touch. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the big garage over there and some of the repairs that we've been doing. Beautiful up here, a little windy, supposed to rain. It's about 68 degrees, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. We'll talk soon. Thanks.